The name of Jesus. We just sang how wonderful it is, how it's a great foundation. I don't know about you, but when I look around at the country and I think, our health system, is that a good foundation for me? It's struggling right now, again, with the pandemic increasing. How about our financial system? Does that seem like a great foundation for us? When most people's 401ks and retirement funds are down about 20% because of the stock market? That one doesn't sound so good either. The foundation you and I are offered is the foundation we find here in the Gospel of Luke, and why we take the time to study it as we come here around God and around His Word for all that He offers to us. And I hope that as we dig into this, that we can get His help to grow stronger in that Word and take it to heart. We're called really, Christians, not just because we come here once a week or as often as we're able to come, but to get, come in and get some good feels from God and sing some songs and see some people we like. We are called Christians because we're followers of Jesus. Next week, when Pastor Ledbetter is here and offering the message, he'll be talking specifically about calling the first followers. But we know the gospel well enough, and you can allow me, I hope, to get the idea that we're following Him. And as today's message is entitled, Tempted and Rejected but Focused, we realize that if that's the way Jesus walked, if that's what He experienced, we don't need to be surprised when it happens to us. It's going to happen in our lives. So why not learn from the one we're following? Why not learn from the one who conquered it all? Why not learn and get better, stronger, more secure in the foundation that Jesus offers to us and the strength that's ours through Him? So by His grace, I pray indeed we can do that. The first word that's there, this idea of tempted, you hear it mentioned in the Old Testament reading that was read for us earlier by Fred. You hear it also in the New Testament reading when Jesus Himself gets tempted. Tempting it's a tough thing, isn't it? But it's going to happen. Guaranteed 100%. Satan's going to bring it into our world. If you know one thing, you know that Jesus loves, God so loved the world that He sent His only Son, and the devil so hates us that he wants to separate every single Christian apart from Jesus and really apart from each other that he possibly can. Anytime he gets us off alone, anytime he gets us separated, he can do his work and can twist what we think we know, what we think we want, to really be more of what He wants. And that's the danger. That's the thing we want to work and watch out for, this temptation that he would offer to us, Satan is. And notice it so oftentimes comes through the eyes. Did you notice that as Eve was there and she's listening to the serpent, she's hearing him, but she's also seeing, that looks good. That looks real good. Now, they've been how long in the garden? A few days, a few weeks, a few months, a few years. She surely passed by this tree before, or maybe she hasn't even bothered because she had heard what God said and it was settled, it was done. Later at the end of that story, when you take a look there at the end of Genesis 3, God is careful to point out to Adam, the reason that you're experiencing these consequences of sin is because you didn't listen to what I commanded. You ate from the tree that I commanded you not to eat from. The eyes got into it. Oh, that car. Oh, that body. Oh, that promotion. Oh, that trinket. Oh, that dress. Oh, that suit. Oh, the whatever it is we see. And there's like a whole level of a major you can get if you go to UCLA, go to the film school. You can major in how to make advertising food look amazing. You know there's a major for that? I don't know, they spray a little water on it to get all those little droplets to make the tomatoes shine. I don't know what it is they do, but the world seems to know that so much of our temptation comes through our eyes. God knew it too. And our antidote for it, our support of how we get over that cannot be, oh, come on, God, give me a chance. I'm just human. Can I remind us all that Jesus was human? Our problem isn't that we're human. Our problem is that we are so steeped in sin, so soaked in it, that it is too easy for us, so easy for us to be pulled by what we see and pulled by the temptation that Satan gives us away from the path that Jesus walked and that Jesus wants us walking on. I don't know how many of you use Google Maps or anything to navigate around, but it's helpful to know like where the accidents are and where the trouble is. It was helpful to know this morning that the Highway 59 was closed at 6:10 to avoid that intersection. God knows where those roadblocks are. God knows what those temptations are. He has faced them through his Son, Jesus Christ. And so he warns us to avoid lies and instead speak truth, to avoid lust and instead seek the love that he would give us in the relationships that he provides for us, to avoid all manner of sin that our eyes are drawn to, and to walk in a way of safety and peace and confidence and comfort. Our problem is not that we're human. Our problem is that since Adam and Eve, sin has tempted us, and Satan whispers to us just like he whispered to them. Do you notice how Satan started with Jesus or with Eve and twisted God's truth a little? How he also took God's truth when he tempted Jesus? There's an extra. I think we could do a whole sermon on Jesus followed the Bible and Satan knows it pretty well too. That would be the title for it. Because here is Satan saying to Jesus, come follow me, trust me, throw yourself down. For the Bible says, he knows the Bible well. He knows the Word of God well. That's why he twisted it and said, did God really say you're not supposed to eat from that and any of these trees? And so by doing that, he's looking at, he's pointing at, he's getting her to notice the other tree. Oh, no, God didn't say that. He just said we're not supposed to eat from the one in the middle. Ooh. Gets her to look at it. Heads her down the path, then twists the word of God again. Oh, you're not going to die. You're not going to take one bite and keel over. You're going to be like God. You're going to get to decide for yourself what's good and what's evil. And isn't that what's gotten us into so much trouble? That may be evil in God's word, but I can handle a little of it. That may be evil in the world's eyes. We know this kind of relationship, we know this kind of thing is wrong, but as long as nobody sees, as long as nobody else gets hurt. But I ask you, friends, how far the hurt has extended. We get a tiny hint of it at the end of the Old Testament reading, but think of how far the consequence of sin has come from Adam and Eve down to us. Think, sadly, of how far some of the consequence of our own sins go. The shame or the guilt we still carry around, the awareness we know of somebody's life that we've marked and impacted, maybe even our own children by our own shortcomings, or someone else that we dearly love. And at the very end of that Old Testament reading, it says, after they tried fig leaves, sewing them together, which if you've never touched a fig leaf, they're awfully itchy, they're awfully brittle, they're kind of hard to sew anything together with a fig leaf. It says that God made them clothing out of skins. God clothed them. What does that mean? Some creature had to have its life taken away. And Old Testament tradition is that the creatures were lambs. They were soft, covering skins from lambs used to cover over Adam and Eve. And we have had to wait also for the covering of the Lamb of God who would take away the sin of the world, he who would overcome all temptation, for him to cover over us, not just temporarily like a little bit of cloth, but to cover over and overcome every sin that we have ever done. Do you trust that? Do you trust that Jesus overcame by following the ways of his Father, by following this word of God, even all the way to where it took him to a cross and to dying? Do you trust that he did all that for you, to cover you over, to reverse the consequences of sin? Friends, I hope today you do. And I hope you are more eager as you trust in him to walk in that way, because his way is the way out. Last time I checked, there have only been 2 people who found their way out of a tomb. One of them got out because Jesus got him out. His name was Lazarus. And the other one got out because he was Jesus. I want to know the way out of the tomb, don't you? I want to know the way out of the misery of sin and temptation, don't you? I want to know the way out and the way up and the way in. And it's Jesus' way. Cling to that, friends. Let's cling to that way. And realize as we do, it's not all going to be a bowl of cherries. As we cling to him, as we follow in his way, we would almost expect this sort of golden bubble to be around us, wouldn't we? I know when I was first a Christian, as a young person, a college student, it was sort of like this beautiful little golden glow of the way I saw the whole world, and the world seemed to see me, or at least the Christian world did. It was like the angels were always going, ah. It was wonderful. But then came the rejection. My family didn't understand why in the world I would want to become one of those Jesus people. My father didn't understand why in the world I would want to become a pastor and talk about Jesus all the time. And other rejections too. Rejections from people who didn't want to be baptized. Rejections from people who didn't want to hear about Jesus. Rejections from people all along, even within the church. And it's a reminder for us, for me, for you, that Jesus himself was rejected. We shouldn't be surprised. Now, it hurts. It's perhaps one of the deepest cuts, especially when it's one of our loved ones or it's within the church, within God's family. It hurts terribly. But the fact that Jesus himself also was rejected, that he was despised and rejected by men, that it was part of the path he walked, means he has so much understanding of how much that hurts. He has so much compassion and comfort for you because he felt that hurt. He has so much to offer, and that he promises he will never, ever reject you. Nothing can snatch you out of his hand. Nothing can make him forsake you. He has and will always love you with an everlasting love. I think as we get further into the message, it's gotten pretty obvious that this really isn't a secret about how we walk in Jesus' way. It can be our way when we do what he did, which was cling close to the word of his Father. And we have then even more, as we cling to God and to all of his promises, we also even have the New Testament promises of Jesus himself, not just the Old Testament ones. We get to see our Savior walk that way, face those temptations, overcome that rejection, and still love and serve others. And when we cling to the hope and the resurrection life that he gives us, we are that much stronger. We have his promise. And I pray we'll never, ever let it go. So may we, like Jesus, cling to God, to the Father, to his word. And may we, as we cling to that word, find the strongest, most secure way, the way in and out and through all the temptation and rejection we'll ever face in our lives, just like Jesus did. Amen.